So I'm thinking about, so we've got this food shortage coming. And let me see if I have this story. Yeah, here we go. New York Post says record diesel prices could lead to food shortages in U.S., farmers warn.
Yep.
So I'm thinking about this, and there was a post from, what was it, Pwn All the Things, a Twitter account, saying that like Lebanon and Kazakhstan, all these other states get a majority of their wheat from and crops from Ukraine and Russia. Now they're not getting that food. And so I thought, what's going to happen inside those countries when they don't get food? I think my opinion is Lebanon will attack another country to get food.
Possibly. I mean, I think you're also going to see begging for foreign aid, and that foreign aid is going to come in and probably say things will have to get really bad before people start going to war over
But the
food.
U.S. is looking at major shortages as well.
We are.
This is what people need to understand about the food shortage. It is not just that we don't have fertilizer. We didn't have fertilizer because of the war in Ukraine with Russia. That dramatically cut our fertilizer down. They were reporting crop yields would be down 40%. Ugh. Then you have hyperinflation already. The economy's in trouble. So food's going to be more expensive, less readily available. Then what people don't understand is that this story right here, farmers need diesel to get the crops.
No kidding.
So now if the gas is in short supply, $6 a gallon, 3 times more than it was last year, and there's less food as it was, your loaf of bread's going to be $20.
It's going to get expensive. I will say that I'll give you one little white pill though, which is that these industries, some of the people who move in these industries can make technological advances really rapidly. That will hinge on whether or not the federal government administration, the federal agencies allow them to do that. And we saw them do it really rapidly, set aside testing requirements for certain types of drugs that came out over the last couple of years.
Yep.
I would hope that they would do the same when it comes to food. I don't know, but it's possible.
So Norman Borlaug is the scientist who I think he quadrupled crop yield for like wheat and some other crops.
Yeah.
However, I was reading about this. I could be wrong because I'm not going to pretend to be an agricultural expert. The crop yield increased, but the nutritional density did not.
Correct.
So that meant that there was a large amount of starch available, but not enough vitamins. So one of the arguments made as to why poor people are so fat is because in order to get the same amount of folate or thiamine or whatever B vitamins, you've got to eat 4 times as much heavy grains than you used to. So poor people trying to get the nutritional value are eating massive amounts of starch, gaining fat.
Yes. So I don't think I should call myself an insider of this. I will tell you that my boyfriend works in agriculture tech. And one of the things that he talks about a lot that I've seen is that soil health is getting improved.
Oh, okay.
And that is a really good thing to know. And what that also means is that they're going to become less reliant upon antibiotics and industrial fertilizer and things like that. So it is possible, but again, there are a lot of regulatory hurdles, and it would take a lot of work to get everybody implementing these practices really rapidly, but it is technically possible. And if it's technically possible, then I'm going to be optimistic, and I'm going to be like Mary and be like, yay.
It's starting to happen here.
Yeah.
I'm not optimistic. I just think nothing ever happens and everything's fake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hear you on that
a form
one.
of optimism.
Yeah, but
in a way.
Yeah.
We're going to spin that for you.
Well, there's 2 biases. There's a normalcy bias and the optimism bias.
Yeah.
Normalcy is what you're saying. Nothing ever happens. It won't happen. And optimism is good things are going to happen. It can't be. That's too bad, right?
I skew optimistic.
I don't know if optimism is the right way to look at it because or pessimistic. It's like positive or negative. It's a thing that's happening.
Yeah, I want to be realistic. But
exactly.
But part of my realism is acknowledging that I skew slightly optimistic.
Yeah, there's the logic of it, which is a realistic thing or fantasy. And then there's the emotional aspect of it, which is optimism or pessimism.
Yeah.
And you can be a realistic optimist, which I am. I'm acknowledging that foreign corporations are attempting to buy us out. They're attempting to squander our wealth, but I mean that doesn't mean we can't change it. Seize control.
Well, they want to make money, but so do I. So it's competing interests. Not too crazy of a concept. I think we can work it out.
To go back to the point I was saying about the food and fuel stuff, is that I think if it really got to the point where in the U.S. we're in short supply for food and we're not in a position to do foreign aid and send food anywhere else, these other countries that are smaller, I don't think are as likely to internally implode. They might.
Yeah.
When there's no food and it's due to the corruption of your government, you get a revolution.
Yep.
When there's no food due to foreign war, the leader can rally you and say they're stealing our food. then they can justify an invasion of a foreign country to get food, steal it from the neighbors. The U.S. being so large, though, I think the U.S. implodes. Small country, sure. Small state, sure. Big country, not so much.
Well, we got Mexico.
You think we're going to go to war with Mexico? I think
maybe pillage them, unfortunately.
Like California and Texas. There's not going to be California and Texas agreeing like we need to, go into Mexico and get food. And California and Texas are going to be like California's got the food. California's got all the food. California is going to leverage that against everybody in the country.
We do have a lot of food.
Oh, yeah. It's like a third, isn't it?
We have a ton of food in the Central Valley. We don't have great water infrastructure. So that's a real problem.
Colorado says, probably not even just Colorado, but Arizona, Nevada, they say, we want food. You want the water that comes from our states. Without a federal government enforcing these treaties, what do you do? Southern California exists only because of the Colorado River water.
Oh, yeah.
And so if that gets cut off, bye-bye Los Angeles and San Diego.
Oh, no.
There you go. Then what they'll do is they'll divert Delta water, the water from the Delta north of California to the south to compensate, which would cause a massive influx of salt water into the Delta, killing all of the farms in the Bay Area. And
if only California's government had built water reservoirs 30 years ago, like everyone said they should.
Yeah,
we're known for a ton of horrible policies, but I promise you that we have more horrible policies that you guys have never heard of. It's a giant. It's like a layer cake of failure.
Oh yeah, man! They're rolling blackouts are coming.
Yep.
What are they doing? They're going to do water rationing soon. I think fuel rationing.
Again, this is a second or third water rationing since I've lived in California.
Okay,
wow.
I don't want to sound like a total idiot bimbo, but like you're like next to the ocean, right?
Yes.
So can't you just take the salt out?
Yeah, there are desalination plants, and it's doable. It's not very cost effective yet,
Yeah,
but that
it's
technology is
expensive.
also like they're trying to improve it. And I'm sure that if we were in a real serious crunch and the dot, was turned off, you would see that, propel rapidly.
I'm not convinced California can make it. To be honest,
I'm not sad about it.
the level of corruption and mismanagement is so intense that I'm not convinced that in a real crisis, people would come together to solve it.
Okay, so what if California collapses before Texas secedes? You think that might
Question.
You think that might change people's attitudes about secession if they see, or just politics in general and the turmoil, if they see
I think it might exacerbate the issues.
we're the 11th largest economy in the world
Yeah.
in California, and if that collapsed, that would be actually you would feel that globally.
Oh, yeah.
There's your global issue, Ian. You would see that like impact the entire world.
So in order to make the desalination plants work, you need a lot of energy.
Yes,
Where's the energy going to come from?
I guess all those
Subsidy?
nuclear power plants we shut down.
That's right.
What if they
San
use the
Diego.
salt from the ocean to boil, to get the heat, to produce the electricity, to desalinate the ocean water, to get more salt, to boil,
Burn
to get
the
more
salt?
heat? Yeah, they have these
Thorium?
giant magnetic. They have thorium nuclear
Whoa,
reactors
what?
where they heat up salt
yeah.
and melt it, and then
That's
it's
thorium
molten
salts, though. Not just
Different
Oh,
sodium
that's something
kind of
different.
salt,
Okay,
yeah.
molten salt. What they'll do is take all these mirrors.
Right.
They have these mirror arrays, and they focus the light at the center tower, which is containing salt. The salt melts, and then overnight it stays molten, so it boils water and just massive amounts of steam power.
They would have to build those.
Yeah.
I don't think California is functional enough to build those in a crisis.
Well, no, they got to start building them now.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.